the Module 7 intro video. So last week we finally started analyzing our data set, the BRFSS, and we primarily focused on categorical variables. And we looked at how to summarize those categorical variables both visually as well as numerically. Well, this week we're going to start working on quantitative variables. And we're just going to start out by visually summarizing the quantitative variables. And then next week we're going to talk about how to numerically summarize those quantitative variables. Thus far, we've been focusing on summarizing the variables what we call univariately, so by themselves. But as most of you know, in a public health context, we're often more interested in summarizing those variables in conjunction with another variable, and that's what we would call multivariate or bivariate. So for example, we might want to look at BMI, for example, but maybe we want to compare BMI for males and females. Well, if we do that, that's what we call a bivariate comparison, because we're really comparing two variables, BMI, and we're looking at sex. So what we're starting out doing in this class is doing what we call univariate analysis. So that's why we're just focusing on one variable for right now. But once we get to Module 9, we'll start looking at some of those bivariate and multivariate comparisons. So for right now, we're just going to focus on those univariate summaries, and especially in this module with quantitative variables. But if you have questions that are more in a multivariate or bivariate way of thinking, hold on to those questions because those are excellent questions. You're going to want to be including those types of things in your report. So maybe jot down a note on them as you think about them. And when we get to Module 9, we're going to really see how to make those comparisons between different variables, which again, in a public health context, is generally what we're interested in. It's just we want to start out by learning how to describe things univariately before we jump right into multivariate or bivariate. So as always, if you have any questions about this week's work or you need any help, please reach out. I'm more than happy to help in whatever way I can. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful week this week.